So I'm continuing on with the summer energy candle spell. I have my ground cinnamon there on the left. Don't make fun of my label. And then I have the orange peels left over from when the boys had some oranges. I asked them to keep it for me. So I posted this earlier. So um, I'm trying to put this all together. But if the first video clip doesn't work out, um, I sat there. So if you're doing this on the day of, if you have lemon and you're able to put the lemon juices on and do what resonates with you. You know, if this doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to do this. This is just something that clicked with me. I dipped my fingers in the juices of the orange that were from peeling it, or just the peel sitting in the bowl. And as I was rubbing the juices into the candle, I was sitting there and, asking what I would like, spirit to do. So this whole time that you are sitting there putting your energy, your intentions, and manifest, at the same time it's 7/7. So I really felt drawn to do this today. So I was just like, I'm going to get my cast iron little grill pan here. I had bought this at a dollar store up north where I used to live. They had some dishes there, and I saw this there. I think it was like $14.99, which I'm not, complaining about, because it's cast iron, and it's great for, when you're burning bay leaves or anything like that. You don't have to worry about the dish cracking, or, you know what I mean? It's cast iron. Nothing's going to happen to it. So, and it's great to clean up, especially with candles and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I feel drawn to do Viking runes on this. So I'm going to clip the Viking runes. Two of the symbols that I put on here will be from Frankie. I'm not sure if she's still on TikTok, but she would show collecting rainwater, moon water. She would, sit there, and she found, she's into the deeper levels of paganism, and, you know what I mean, with the bird feed and stuff like that. So, some of the stuff she does doesn't resonate with me, and that's totally fine. You will find your way to what, kitchen magic is what it's called. What resonates with you, you will find that. So for me, making food offerings, drink offerings, those resonate with me for Passover. Passover, you're supposed to consume what's on the plate. For me, I make a big offering plate, and then, just like they say in any spiritual book, you leave it out for 3 days, no one touches it, and then you're supposed to have it consumed by fire. Unfortunately, I don't live in a place where I can do that, so when we get to that point, we will definitely do that. But in this case, I throw it out on the third day. No one touches it. Wash the offering plate, and you know what I mean? Or like today, I felt drawn to, cut. I was like, in the kitchen, and I'm getting prepared to do this. And I was seeing, make a food offering. And I'm like, okay. Because I usually do it on Friday with Shabbat. We do a drink offering. And then we do a food offering. So I was drawn today to slice an apple in half, and I woke up really hungry. I sliced the apple in half, gave the biggest portion as the food offering, and sliced it into two like they were asking me to do, like they showed me in my mind's eye, and I'm putting it out. So you do what resonates with you, you know what I mean? I've never done this summer energy candle before. This is my first time, but I'm just going to go with it with the purest intentions. This is not to harm anyone. I don't do any of that. I don't do spells to hurt people. I do distance Reiki and stuff like that, but I'm not looking to hurt anybody. So, it's hard to sit there and film how I'm going to do this, but the first symbol is kind of like a horseshoe or a U, and you're going to put a dot in the middle of that U. And then you're going to make a cross underneath that. So that's going to be your first symbol. If I can find it, I will definitely post it here. So I will try. It's hard because I'm filming, but we'll see. So it's sticky, but I don't think I could film with it on, but I will do the first one. So there, I'm doing my U. I'm going to put a dot in the middle. Underneath the bottom of that U, I'm going to put a cross. So it's all connected. So here's my first one. See if we can pick that up. Not really, but I'll describe it to you guys. If I can find the images of it, I will. So the second one underneath this one, you're going to make a dot. You're going to make a straight line from that dot and go down. So once your line is completed, you're going to make a crescent moon in the middle of the first one, like the line at the top, and then another moon I have a ring that looks like this. So the crescent moon and the waning crescent. So you have your dot, you draw a line extending from that dot going down. You, in the middle of that line, you're going to do, so it's like an upside down U or an N, and then you're going to do a U. So the crescent moon and the waning crescent moon. If I could find the symbol, this is all blurry. If I could find the symbol, I will post it. I actually write these on my fingers. So now I'm going to do a Viking rune, and this is going to be a flag symbol. So this represents peace or victory. And then I'm going to do an up-facing arrow. So I will go on to, the interweb, and I will look for just these symbols so I could post it for you. So we have the flag for peace. We have the arrow pointing up for victory. And then we're going to do a capital X. And this is bringing in abundance and unexpected gifts with no harm to none, including yourself. Make sure you're putting that out there because we don't want anyone getting hurt, including yourself. Then we're going to do strength. And honestly, you put what symbols you feel, if you feel drawn to do numbers, you do what resonates with you. Maybe when I put the cinnamon on, it'll show a little bit more, but right now it's not really showing up. So we're going to put strength on. This is usually symbolized by the ox. Then we're going to do the symbol for the sun. So this is like a sideways Z. Or a lightning bolt would be better. Then there's this like F. Like, it looks like a lowercase f kind of. Oops. I can't remember what that F is for that, but I'm trying to keep it positive here. I can't remember what that little symbol means, to be honest, but I've always drawn it on me. Then I'm going to do the sigil for protection. So this looks like a bow tie at the top. You're going to draw a line going down, and then little V's there, like so lowercase V's pointing down. So like a little case V in the middle of the line. At the bottom, it kind of looks like a fish. So we're going to draw that at the very bottom, and again, I will post these. And I'm going to try and fit. So there's another capital X that you could do. This one they said is more potent. So you do your X, and then on the second extension there, so you do your first X going from left to right, and then you go right to left. On that right to left, you will put an F. So instead of just like the X, you're like a line for the capital X, you'll sit there and make an F. So I saw that and it resonated with me, so I was just like, okay, I'll start doing that one. All right, so I used a little pin to thumbtack, I guess you will, but this is like a bigger one, like when you used to hang up your posters and stuff. Oops, well, that's not good. Now we got our cinnamon. So this came in a pouch, hence why it's in the little bottle there. So I sprinkled a little bit. I'm going to rub it in. So I'm going to pause it so I can do my intention. So this is it. So you can actually see more of the symbols now that, like, really, but not really. So there's the capital X on the bottom. So, again, I'm going to sit there, pause it, set all my intentions in here. Oops. I'm going to put, and I'll come back and I'll sit there and I'm going to show you how I'm going to set this up. I was actually shown to light an incense with this. So I'm going to see if I can poke an incense into one of the orange peels and light this. But again, do this from the purest intentions. You know, the law of karma. You sit there and send things out to people to harm them. You know, one thing I love, oh my gosh. She's on TikTok. I can't remember her name. She's got the evil eye and a seedling there. I could see her face. She's from Australia. She's amazing. I love her energy. You know, she's changed a little bit. You know, I'll be 100% authentic, but, you know, it is what it is. People change. People grow. But, that's not the point of this. But, I don't know why. I can't remember why I was mentioning her. I'm tired. I worked a split shift yesterday. But, what she taught me. You send it out to the universe, and this is what I love about people. Take what resonates with you. You know what I mean? And she sat there, and she's like, instead of sending it back to the person, then it becomes a game of ping pong. Sit there, send it out to the universe, and crush it up and make it into something beautiful. It's just like when someone wrongs you, just like, you know, we give it up. In my case, I love Yahweh Yeshua. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give this situation to you and keep moving forward. I am a person that is sensitive. If someone wrongs me, I do carry it for me for days and a week, which is not good. I'm working on it. But I feel my feelings. You know, if I'm ticked off, I'm ticked off. And then I release it. I don't wish no evil on them. You know what I mean? And I just let the universe deal with it. And when you see it happen, do not celebrate. Don't say good, they deserve it or anything like that, because you know what? As easily as it went to them, it could come back onto you. So, just observe. Okay, I know what that's for. And keep on with your day, you know? But, just do it with the purest intentions. So, I'm going to sit there, hold this candle in your left hand. I would put the cinnamon in your left hand and just rub the candle back and forth in it, you know, make sure that it gets good and coated, if that's what resonates with you. And I'm going to sit there and I'll put the oranges around it. I'm going to get the incense and then I'll come back. So I'm back. So you can see that I added some things to the plate. Mustard. They say even if you have the faith of a mustard seed, you will surely be saved. Coffee grounds. You see our indigenous brothers and sisters. This is their land. You know what I mean? It's just like you see them giving coffee grounds or tobacco, fresh tobacco as offerings. I was just trying to do coffee ground. This is what I saw in my mind's eye. They showed me the egg first. Then it was mustard, then it was coffee grounds, and then I was going to put the Himalayan salt. You use what you have, sea salt, natural cleanser. I feel like when the egg is absorbing everything that you want to remove from your life. Again, do what resonates with you. No harm to none, including yourself. They were showing me this started with me, they were showing me to put some salt in my hand and rub it against the candle. I'm going to do that. And then I saw egg right in the corner, exactly how I have it. Got the mustard, ground coffee, fresh ground coffee, and salt. So I'm going to pause, get the salt, and I'll do my intention. So with the egg, they were showing me to coat it in the salt, and I asked them to remove everything and anything that is ailing us, so they know what I'm talking about. Anything that people try to put on us, the situation that's going on. I feel like it was out of greed, but at the same time, it's just like, it's not, you know what I mean? It doesn't sit with me well. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not trying to blow it out of proportion. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but at the same time, it's like common courtesy is to ask. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you need it more than we were going to donate it to that family, then you know what I mean? Go for it. I'm not, you know what I mean? Maybe it was meant for that person. Who knows? So, coated that in the... Whoop, no, it's not standing up. I got too much on it. So now I've rubbed that. I have salt in my hands. I'm going to go clean my hands. I'm going to start putting the orange peels around. So I'll probably sit there. Oh, I guess I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm doing. But it's just kind of hard because it's very humid here and the fan's on. So maybe what I'm going to do is going to melt the bottom of the candle so it sticks to the cast iron plate. And then I'm going to start strategically, maybe I'll rub salt on some of these orange peels as well. Place them around the candle, and then I will come back and maybe it'll be lit, maybe I'll light it with you guys. We'll see what happens. So I have 2 containers that I use for moon water. They were saying like I should sprinkle moon water on it, so I did. I was going to put my incense in the actual dish or the cast iron plate here, but the candle would have burnt, probably started on fire in the middle. So I'm like, just to do this purely. So set your intentions. If you're ready, go ahead and light it. You know, if you want to say anything while you're lighting it, putting, you know, with no harm to none, including yourself, or maybe you're singing a hymn or whatever resonates. This is all about what speaks to you, to your soul. This is bringing in positive energy. I would say remove, because we are heading into retrograde, you know what I mean? So, and I feel like things that are really weighing on our heart and our soul, you know, with our family, our loved ones, our friends, you know, it's just like sitting there and helping, you know what I mean? Because prayers are the most powerful tool that we possess. If it's speaking to Gaia, Mother Earth, Source, Universe, Yahweh Yeshua, you know, whomever you believe in. So go ahead and light your candle. So for some of us, what they were showing me while I was lighting this is that this is because it's coming up to retrograde. I always want to say the R word because that's what me and my bestie call it, because, you know, it messes with her a lot. So they were showing, because the R word is on starting on the 15th. Maybe this is a time, like I have the windows open because it's been very hot and muggy. It's still muggy from the thunderstorm last night, so, but at least the air is cooler. It's, you know, bearable. Maybe you want to open all your windows and sage. If you feel comfortable enough. If it's really, really hot and it's unbearable, then don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, do what resonates with you. But because when you light an incense, it brings in that light, that intention, the positive energy after you've cleansed the house. But I feel like with the egg, if you watch Orange is the New Black, you will see that, you know, rubbing the egg all over you, sleeping with it, absorbs all your bad juju. Some people will put lemons, especially because this is a citrus based kind of candle energy spell. Maybe cutting up a lemon, placing, you know, just depending what you're going through, by your nightstand, under your bed, you know what I mean? I would wait 3 days. Some people say wait until it's all brown and it absorbed everything. So I'm going to go with 3, you know? So Shabbat starts on Friday night, Saturday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So Monday evening. So the first night is Saturday, Sunday is the second night, Monday is the third night. So with us, with our food offerings, we sit there and we disregard it. So drink offering, food offering. The apples I will keep mindful of, like, you know, today's Monday, so, you know, disregard them on Thursday night. So, or Thursday around this time. So there you go. Do what resonates with you. If you want to stick to what the instructions that Katie shared, that's what resonates with you, have at it, you know. I am just going with what speaks to me. I've been doing this for a while. Not actual energy candle work like we do Shabbat. I do write Viking runes on my Shabbat candle. I do sit there and pray for those around me because it's a million times more magnified that are going through some things. You know, my poor sister's been going through something, so setting that intention out for her. So, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, we always think of ourselves. You know, I feel like Shabbat, yes, Shabbat, you ask Shabbat, you know, you ask Yahweh Yeshua, in our case, you know, to sit there and burn up all the crud that's been happening, and then, you know, to light up our following, God bless the 6 days that are following, leading up to Shabbat. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, what I've been seeing, this happens, but, you know, Yahweh Yeshua counter with this. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, it's like, pay attention to that. You know, and they've been speaking about that a lot. You know, you're sitting there asking for these grand things to happen, but you overlook the small things that are being blessed in your life, because the more grateful, and don't do it just because you're like, oh, if I'm grateful for these, you know, they know your heart. They're not stupid. You know what I mean? So it's just like, sit there and put your intentions out and really be thankful for that, because you know what I mean? Like, it didn't have to happen. Those things, you know what I mean? For myself, it's just like, you know, this happened, but, you know, I was squealing like a little kid in a toy store because I got these sparkly teal Crocs, and I ordered some charms for them, and oh my word, it's just everything that I ordered it to garden in, and I'm like, they're too cute to garden in. I'm just like, damn. So, you know, I'm going to be a crock hoarder. I wanted to get the cute ones with the flowers on it, if you know, you know, and they don't have my size. I was like, son of a gun, because I actually did order the blue ones in the wrong size. I'm like, you know, they showed me, remember when you went to the dollar store and they just like kind of fit, and I'm like, yeah, and then you stretched them out and they fit like a glove. I was like, yeah, and they're like, we'll do it with these ones, you know. So it's like when my feet can handle it, because I was doing digging and I got to do some more. The bottom of my feet hurt, so I'm just like, when my feet are, you know, annoying me, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, in the winter or the fall of the winter, those will be my indoor shoes. Wear socks and stretch them out, so, you know, by next summer they'll be fine. But you know what I mean? It's just that happened and it really ticked me off, and I lashed out at a loved one because of it, because I was just, they just walked in the room at the wrong time. They were getting something from the deep freeze, and I was just like, oh my, I lost it. I was just like, you know. But you know, you just sit there and, you know, again, it's just like it got countered. And I've been noticing that a lot, you know what I mean? And I always write down my blessings, but I noticed that this happened, but this happened. Then this happened, but this happened. You know what I mean? Because they're just like, yeah, it's crappy what happened. You know what I mean? I took the right steps. I didn't do anything stupid. And it's just like, you know, counter it with the way you're supposed to counter it, you know? But this is all about bringing energy, positivity, healing into your life. They're talking about this time of, you know, look at the 7/7 portal energy as well if you're doing it on 7/7. If you missed it, that's fine, because sometimes, you know, For You pages or whatever this finds you on, it's like, it doesn't always go in our favor. You know what I mean? You find it later. But sometimes that's why I post my tarot card readings, because some people like, well, it says this date, but I found it on this date. And it's like, it's when it finds you. You know, that's why I say timeless reading, because, you know, I wasn't able to post yesterday because I work a split. Today I have a personal paid reading, so God bless that I had that come in. Plus I'm filming this. So it's like, do what resonates with you. Stay positive. You know, maybe you want to pull a tarot card and have that for your intention, for your energy. Maybe you purposely find that tarot card, like the sun card is what they're showing. It makes sense because this is a citrus reading, is what they're showing in my mind's eye. Maybe you want to put your tarot card out there and put it with it. You want to bring the sun into your life. You know, purity of the situation. And this is what this is all about. The purity of this energy. The purity of what you're trying to accomplish. This is not to hurt anyone. This is not to, you know, cast anything on anyone. You know, in my eye, like, you know, like love spells and all that, it's like, why wouldn't you want someone to authentically fall in love with you and or then put a spell on it? You know what I mean? It's just like, I'd rather someone be with me because they love me and who I am and what I stand for than, you know, this kind of stuff, you know? But this is a positive energy, you know, I love it, very sun energy, the sun card. You know, some like the sunflowers, and maybe sunflowers resonate with you. They're showing me my sunflower charm that I got from Temu. You know what I mean? It's just like, do what resonates with you. You know? If this doesn't resonate with you and you're just curious and you wanted to watch the video, that's fine. You know? But this is all in the goodness and the spirit of bringing in positivity, healing, abundance, clarity, you know? And if you're lucky enough, you did it on the 7/7 portal. If you missed it, I feel like it's like the full moon is what they told me. 7 days before, 7 days after. Like I said, I sat there and I rubbed the orange juice on, not the orange, like orange juice. Maybe you could with orange juice, but the juices from the orange when the kids peeled it, you know, on the bottom of the bowl. And I let it sit there because I'm like, the candle's not going to burn while it's wet, you know, so I let it sit in there. And in that bowl that the incense is in, I sat there and I put my candle in there all overnight. I sat there and let it marinate. So we'll see what happens after this. You know what I mean? Do what resonates with you. I'm doing a lot of things that, you know, I see people doing. I'm like, really? Does that really work? And I'm just like, let's try it. You know? I'm not hurting anybody. It's in a positive direction. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, how come this hasn't happened? I'm like, it's not that time yet. I'm like, oh, duh. You know what I mean? So using certain words that you can use every day, so like a password, you know what I mean? And have it be something positive that you want to bring in. So let's see what happens. That's all we can do. Put our best foot forward. And we'll see what resonates and what happens. And, you know, I already feel you know, just having the candle lit. I love fire. But because majority of my house is fire, which is crazy because I'm a air sign and I'm very emotional. And so you think there would be more water in my chart. No, fire, fire, fire. No wonder I have a bad temper. But I love fire, especially bonfires. I miss bonfires. And I miss the ocean. I haven't been to the beach this year. But, you know, hopefully sometime this year. Even if it's in the fall, I don't care. But I hope this video resonates with you well. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.